we'll keep this one brief. UFC 312 just wrapped up. Australia, it was a meh card, In the build-up, people were talking about Saudi's going to be the more fun card to this, and, it definitely had more hype, but I think overall this was probably the better card. But, yeah, there were some ups, there were some downs, and we will be going through that real quick right here. I guess starting with the main event. Dricus du Plessis. I know I didn't make a prediction video on this, by the way. I've been a little bit busy and didn't really feel all that inclined to. And as you'll see by my predictions, that was for a decent reason. I didn't know what the fuck I'm talking about, apparently. But, yeah, this fight was not as good as the first one. It only really got interesting in round 4 when Dricus broke Sean's nose, and that was a pretty crazy moment because Sean was kind of freaking out a little bit, looking like he was trying to set the nose back in position properly, and it looked like it bothered him quite a bit at first, so he was just kind of retreating a bunch, trying to defend, not get hit, and Dricus was coming at him like crazy. And then round 5 was a little bit better, but just not a lot happened. Dricus was trying, but Sean's defense was real good in that one, and Sean just didn't have the offense or the necessity to exchange, the drive to do that. So, the fight ended up a little bit worse than the last one. And, yeah, Dricus is probably moving on to Khamzat unless he's not ready. Then they'll do Imavov, but Khamzat probably won't be ready because it's always something with that dude. So, yeah, Dricus moving on. Looking forward to him, what he's going to do next. And then Strickland, he had a post-fight interview, but like half of it got cut and censored because I don't know. Maybe he was spamming Manel Cap and Charles Radke's favorite word. We will never know. But yeah, that fight was that fight. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell I'm a little bit tired after this card. It dragged a bit. But what didn't drag was Weili. She fucking... Gosh, she got it done. I guess the most eventful thing technically was Tatiana's cut on her knee. That was pretty gnarly. Apparently it was from the cage somehow. I heard on commentary. So that happened, and then yeah, Weili just after round 1 she got took down and controlled a little bit, reverse position towards the end of the round, and then from there it was just all Weili. She kind of rocked Tatiana on the feet a couple of times. Not really rocked her, but like hit her pretty good. Really bounced her head back, and yeah. Weili, I love her. One of my favorite women's fighters. My original favorite women's fighter. And she now ties one of my other favorites, Joanna Jędrzejczyk's 6 title fight streak. So that's cool. I think it's 6 title defenses is the streak they tied, but yeah, Weili's making her name for strawweight GOAT, and I think next for her should be Valentina. There's not really anyone down at strawweight, as you can tell by the contenders they're giving her, and yeah, looking forward to that. Now, Taliesin Tashera versus Justin Tofa was just a weird short fight for all that it lasted. A clinch knee to Tofa made him crumble and cower and got TKO'd. He wasn't defending himself. Really, he just shelled up and lost a quick TKO. So yeah, I kind of expected Tofa to upset here, but yeah, we'll see how good Tashera is, man. Not a lot to say here. Not a lot. Now, what there is to say is I had Bolat winning this. Crout looked really good in the first round, but got really bummy towards the rest of the fight. I think Crout probably should have won the fight. Like, out of all the draws for there to be, this wasn't a fight I would want a draw to go to. There's some times when I see a draw acceptable, but this was not one of those times. I think Crout probably could have won. I think there's maybe more of a case for Bolat to win than a draw, but, maybe they found a round that was perfectly split for that to happen. Anyway, moving on. By the way, funny they would give this a draw, but there were so many crazy robberies that happened where They don't even consider giving those a draw, even though a lot of the robberies that get called robberies could have really been a draw. But yeah. Moving on, Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Prado needs to shave his hair because he looks just like Drew Dober, but he has black hair. And if he didn't have that black hair, I have a feeling he'd be a lot better as a fighter, if you know what I'm saying. But Jake Matthews, I'm always shocked when I see this guy fight. His boxing's really slick. He has great striking, and I'm surprised he's not ranked by now, or just in general. I feel like his skills should have him ranked, but either matchmaking or something's just keeping him from that one step that it'd take. Because he's always so good, and I'm always so shocked when I see him. Little mid-yap stretch there, but yeah, Matthews is very good. Depending on how young he is, he still might have a bright future ahead of him. He's been in the UFC for a while. Looked real good against big Drew Dober over here. And then we had Gabriel Santos versus Jack Jenkins. Jenkins got a nasty head kick knocked down in the first, and then submitted in the third. He just kind of, after the first round, looked like he had nothing on the ground. He just gave up. He had no skills to get back up, and he eventually lost there for it. Not a lot to say about that one. Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Boshev. Tom Nolan looks very good in this one. I'm quite impressed. Good on him. If he keeps this up, might be a good prospect to keep an eye out on. That's all I got to say for that. Now, this was... I had Bruna Brazil to win this one. But I guess Wang just got fraud checked and beat by some bum just to go ahead and take out a fighting nerd. Great start to 2025 for the fighting nerds. Bruna was very not doing much on the feet. She would only really throw big shots in counters. Whenever they were crashing together, she wouldn't really initiate. And what also annoyed me about this, and another fight we'll get to, is she didn't initiate any takedowns on a person who's a kickboxing, I think, champion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, the fight IQ of some of these MMA fighters is just kind of insane to me. I think Bruna Brazil very well could have won this fight, but she didn't do the things that she would have to do to win. She just wanted to strike, and she didn't even give a fun striking fight, so, like, what was the point? You weren't doing it for the fans. You weren't trying to build a fan base. You were just going out there to lose, it looked like. She just went out there to not take any injuries and lose. She better turn around quickly because there's not many excuses for that. And, you know, Wang, they're calling her Wang Tong now because her name sounds interesting if you translate it a certain way. So yeah, I guess she's Tong Wang now. I don't think anyone likes that. Sounds stupid. I don't know if she even likes that. We'll see. But we won't see. Moving on, Alexandre Topuria versus Kody Thickness. I had Topuria here, but I thought Thickness was a good little underdog. Could have upset, but he didn't. And Topuria didn't look great. He had 2 moments of potential. He looked tiny and very coiled up and hesitant the whole fight. But he did throw a nasty cartwheel kick that was very quick, very fast. But it didn't connect. And then he also suplexed him. Those were 2 moments. That suplex will go on his highlight reel. I'd like to see him maybe against Peyton Talbot next. I think that would be a very interesting fight outside of the rankings between 2 prospects. And yeah, not a lot to say for Topuria. I think unless he like makes some crazy improvements or kind of proves me wrong, I don't know if he has what it takes to thrive at bantamweight, especially. Such a nasty division. But yeah, ideally, I'd like to see him against Talbot next. I think that's a cool fight. Very cool. Now, this fight I was referencing earlier, same with the Bruna Brazil one. What the fuck, Kody Steele? That was a very fun fight. Good for you boys, but what the fuck, Kody Steele? Why didn't you? You shot 2 takedowns. There was 2 grappling exchanges that whole fight. Brother, you're a grappler. Do you not want to win? That was a cool fight. It was fun. You don't want to win. You didn't. You just let him beat you. Like, he had some decent moments on the ground. He definitely could have tried more to establish that. I get the opponent was not making it easy, but he wasn't making it easy on the feet either. He was fucking you up with the hands, Kody. You looked bad out there with the punches. And that was just a frustrating fight to watch as someone who thought Kody would win. Like, what was he doing? It was a fun fight, but bro, can't be doing that. And moving down the card, we had Mikalev versus Gisette. I took the underdog and he won a decision. I guess the story of this fight was they both were kicking a lot. The hands didn't look good from either of them. Very stiff, hard punches. And, Mikalev's big issue was he was very counterable after the kicks, but after round 1, Gisette stopped doing that. He stopped throwing the punches after Mikalev would throw his kicks and kind of have that reset where he pauses and just stares. And that allowed the fight to really slip away, even though Mikalev did win the first round. Gisette just didn't keep making those adjustments and keep hammering those counters and let the fight slip away. Fun fight, though. Next up, we had Queenland versus Jubilee. Early stoppage. What more is there to say about that? That was very early stoppage. I don't know if it would have been any different, but I wasn't into it. And that's about it for this card. Let me know what y'all thought. I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all later.